Here at home, parents are being warned not to leave their children unsupervised with a dog. The advice comes from a leading paediatrician writing in the British Medical Journal. 250,000 people are apparently bitten every year.
Well, there are around 80 dogs here that need to be rehoused, just like Lito here. Now, the dogs are taught how to deal with people before they leave here, and also their new owners are then taught how to deal with them. Now, around 4,000 people were treated in hospital last year for dog bites. That's according to Rachel Besser's research. One of the things that you say is that children shouldn't be left unsupervised with dogs. I guess that's quite obvious in a way, isn't it?
Well, it sounds like common sense, but you'd be surprised. I mean, you're absolutely right with the figures. In fact, over 4,000 patients were admitted to hospital last year because of dog bites. And in fact, that's almost double the number that occurred 10 years before, so in 1996. And more than a fifth were to children under the age of 9 who are particularly vulnerable. Now, of those children who were admitted because of dog bites, in fact, most of those attacks occur by the family pet in the family home and in the situation where they were left unsupervised. So absolutely, it sounds obvious, but the message isn't being got through actually, that if you've got a dog and a child, the child should not be left unsupervised in the presence of the dog.
Is it because children treat animals a bit like toys? They don't necessarily know that they're going to react in a strong way against them?
Well, I certainly think that we need to be doing more about education. Certainly dog owners and parents need to take some kind of responsibility in educating themselves and their children about how to behave around dogs. Certainly I'd like to see more education packages at parents and children about how to behave around dogs so that they can minimise the risk that happens in the home environment. But also there's a place of having mandatory classes actually for expectant dog owners before they own a dog to really, because I think having a dog you need to be responsible.
All right, thanks, Rachel. Well, let's talk to Steph Parry from here at the Dogs Home. Now, this is Chloe, who's with you. You go out into schools to teach children how to act around animals.
That's right, and we try and teach them about how to act around dogs in the park, so if they want to say hello to a dog, if they get scared about a dog, but also how to act around in the household. So, for instance, not to approach a dog who's eating, not to try and move a dog who's sleeping on furniture, because that could be a situation the dog may react. So it's about educating in all situations, not just when you're out and about.
And if a dog comes running up to you, say when you're in the park, how should you react?
The best thing you can really do is fold your arms so that they're not anywhere vulnerable and just stand stock still. So as I described to the kids playing musical statues, just wait for the dog to get bored, which it will, and run away, and then obviously you can alert whoever came to the park with you.
Now, if you do want to stroke a dog, how should you go about it? And it's a dog that you don't know.
It's very important to approach nice and calmly. The most important piece of advice is to ask the owner, and if the dog is running around without an owner, then you shouldn't try and approach the dog or try and stroke the dog. When you do approach the dog, you give them your hand to sniff so that they can say hello nicely. That's how dogs say hello, and then stroke them under the chin here. And the reason being, if I was facing Chloe, as my hand approached her to stroke her under the chin, she'd see it coming every step of the way. She wouldn't get scared, she wouldn't get worried, she wouldn't think I was going to be nasty to her. She'll be a lot calmer and the interaction should be much nicer.
OK, well, we should give Chloe her starring moment. Come and say hello to the camera, Chloe. And if you want any more advice or information about how to go about dealing with dogs, how to interact with them, you can go to Battersea Dogs Home's website and download some information there. Back to you.
That was Nicola Pearson reporting. Now, business news and more on the battle of the paid TV companies Virgin Media and...
A lot of fun.